Halloween in Pokemon Go is one of the best times of the year to play the game. We just had the Part 1 details released and there are no mentions of costumes or Mimikyu. In this video, we're going to go over the Part 1 details as well as our predictions for what could be coming in Part 2. Let's get into it. Halloween 2025 Part 1 starts October 21st at 10 a.m. and goes all the way to October 27th at 10 a.m. local time. We have an exciting shiny debut, a new Pokemon debut, and a Go Pass with Rotom. That can be shiny, by the way. Sinistea will be appearing in the wild for the first time ever, and it can be shiny. It'll also be in 1-star raids, and it'll be the featured Pokemon for Spotlight Hour on October 28th. So if you didn't get the shiny, you can shiny hunt it during that Spotlight Hour. Sinistea has two forms. It has a phony form and an antique form. So you want to look for that antique form. It's going to take 400 candies to evolve. If you get a shiny antique form, that is really rare and super cool. The antique form's on the same level of rarity as the Family of 3 Mousehold or the 3-Link to Dunsparce. We're getting a brand new Pokemon debut of Poltchageist. This Pokemon's going to be raid locked behind 1-star raids, and it will require 50 candy to evolve into Sinistea. And similar to Sinistea with the phony and antique form, this one's going to have a counterfeit form and an artisan form. All trainers will be receiving a Go Pass. This one starts on October 21st and it ends on November 2nd. And you do have the option to upgrade this to a deluxe version. So the good news to take away here is everyone's getting that Rotom for free. Rotom is an incredibly rare shiny Pokemon, so if you get the shiny, you've got to let us know in the comments. The deluxe pass has some candy bonuses at different ranks, and it has this T avatar pose. That T pose might be really cool with that Poltchageist hat. In the wild, we'll have Zorua, Hisuian Zorua, and Greavard. It's kind of interesting that we haven't got shiny Greavard debut yet. Zorua and Hisuian Zorua are really cool because they will disguise themselves as your buddy, and if you want an extra large, you can always make a Pumpkaboo, one of the XXL Pumpkaboos, your buddy, and get those XXL Zoruas. These Pokemon are going to be in raids, and it's really cool that we're getting these Shadow debuts of Shadow Yamask and Shadow Phantom. These Pokemon and Mega Energy will be in field researches, and the one to look out for is Spiritomb. That's because Spiritomb really only comes out at this time during Halloween, and it is a really cool, sick, rare Pokemon. So I hope you get the shiny one. I even have a Lucky Shundo of this one that I got from a trade during the Unova Tour this year. The Halloween events are super fun, and this is the Part 1, and what we're seeing here is that there aren't any costumes yet, because that's probably going to be on Part 2, so let's see what Bernie has to say.
It's honestly really surprising that we're not getting any costumes during the Part 1 Halloween event. But we do have a little tease if you were paying attention to the details in the news post. So if you scroll all the way bottom to the news post, you will see some special event themed stickers. And this shows a Teddiursa and Noibat in this kind of like frillishy Halloween costume. And I believe this is a tease to the costumes that we will be seeing in Part 2. That's because every year there's official artwork for Pokemon that the company puts out. And it's not just Pokemon Go, it's Pokemon International. So last year, we actually saw the artwork that had the Wichachu, the Rowlet with the hat, but then we also saw a couple other Pokemon in costumes that weren't actually out in Pokemon Go. Now this next part is definitely a spoiler, so if you do not want to be spoiled, go ahead and skip this part completely. But the 2025 Halloween artwork has been data mined. And in this data mine, you can see that Teddiursa and Noibat. So I really feel like this data mine is very, very accurate. So in the main center page, we see Pikachu with this really cool top hat and this outfit going on. We got Teddiursa with that little frillish outfit, Cyndaquil with kind of like a vampire cape, and then Noibat with another like that frilly kind of bib look. I believe that these are going to be the costume debuts. I'm hoping that they're going to be in the wild and not just raid locked, since we're only getting them in the Part 2 event. And I believe that each 4 of the rooms are giving us clues as to what wild spawns we'll be seeing. So we have Noibat with Miss Magus, Oricorio, and Pumpkaboo and its evolution. Then we have Cyndaquil with Hisuian Typhlosion, which is in raids for Part 1 of the event, and Lampet, as well as Galarian Corsola. Then we see Pikachu, Drifloon, Bannet, Misdreavus. Then we see Teddiursa, Poltchageist and Sinistea, Greavard, and even Morpeko. From this, I also have a theory that we're going to be seeing the shiny debut of Morpeko in the Part 2 event. Now, most of the Pokemon in this are already shiny in Pokemon Go, except for 2, Greavard and Morpeko. I believe that we are definitely going to be getting Morpeko as a shiny debut during the Part 2 event. It was debuted last year. Seems like they're debuting Pokemon with a year of the initial debut. But the one that I still am not sure about is Greavard. Now it could be shiny debuted in part 2, but I highly doubt that. Since it's coming in part 1 as a wild spawn, why wouldn't they just go ahead and debut it in part 1? It'd be kind of weird to put it in part 2, but we don't know, we'll see. Maybe it'll come out next year, I don't know. I think that's a really cool shiny, and I'm really curious why they're holding out for debuting this one. But the main takeaway from this though is, where is Mimikyu? Mimikyu is not seen at all in this artwork. Now this artwork isn't the go-to guide. We might not be getting all 4 of these costumes. We might only be getting 3, maybe even some extras that we don't know about, because there were some extras that we didn't even see in the image from last year, and some of the ones in the images weren't actually in Pokemon Go, but we're not seeing Mimikyu anywhere in this. And I do feel like Mimikyu is one of those Pokemon that we are due to get in Pokemon Go for a Halloween event. And I'm not so sure if we're gonna be seeing it this year or if it's gonna be next year. Now there are a few reasons why we could see it or could not see it. Now one of the things is the part 2 event is significantly shorter, so putting out Mimikyu for a very short period of time does make sense. But I also feel like we're gonna be seeing a lot of brand new costumes that we've never seen before that are really exciting, and that might take the main center stage. And then maybe next year when Mimikyu comes out, maybe we'll have some repeat costumes. That way Mimikyu is the center stage rather than the costumes themselves. Definitely take a look at the picture yourself and let me know in the comments what your predictions for part 2 are. While I was initially really disappointed that part 1 didn't have any costumes, because I think the Halloween costumes are my favorite part of the Halloween event, I actually think that these costumes are some of the best costumes in the game. So I'm really excited to shiny hunt them specifically for part 2. And I'm thinking we're gonna be getting Garbodor G-Max as well over that weekend. So part 2 is gonna be incredible. It's gonna line up really well with part 1. And I'm assuming that these costumes are going to be in the Go Pass Halloween. That way we can get them early and we'll actually know a little bit earlier than not.
Bye everyone!
We want to give a huge thank you to our incredible Patreon supporters. Your support means everything to us and helps make content like this possible.
You're helping us take things to the next level. We couldn't do this without you.